green screen. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and put the green screen on this one. Okay. So, okay. In honor of Memorial Day. Okay. So let's see. And the Liverpool tragedy that just happened today. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read what I can, a couple pages. I'm going to read to 479. Okay, let me go ahead and put my ears on. I'm a little happy today. Isn't it? It's weird. No. I fell asleep earlier and I was feeling great, but because I had a nap, but that's all I want. Anyway, besides that. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started on this, and I'm going to go ahead and read. And I'll get out of the way. Okay. Okay, after some time, the hobbits heard him murmuring again. He seemed to be counting on his fingers. Fingers, father, I, he sighed. The trouble is that there are so few of us left, he said, turning towards the hobbits. Only 3 remain of the first ants that walked in the woods before the darkness. Only myself, Fangorn, and Finglas, and Falkland, to give them their elvish names. You may call them Leafrock and Skinbark if you like that better. And of us 3, Leafrock and Skinbark are not much use for this business. Leafrock has grown sleepy, almost tree-ish, you might say. He has taken to standing by himself, half asleep, all through the summer, with the deep grass of the meadows round his knees. Covered with leafy hair he is. He used to rouse up in winter, but of late he has been too drowsy to walk far even then. Skinbark lived on the mountain slopes west of Isengard. That is where the worst trouble has been. He was wounded by the orcs, and many of his folk and his tree herds have been murdered and destroyed. He has gone up into the high places among the birches that he loves best, and he will not come down. Still, I dare say, I could get together a fair company of our younger folks if I could make them understand the need. If I could rouse them. We are not a hasty folk. What a pity there are so few of us. Why are there so few when you have lived in this country so long? Asked Pippin. Have a great many died? Oh no, said Treebeard. None of us have died from inside, as you might say. Some have fallen in the evil chances of the long years, of course, and more have grown treeish. But there were never many of us, and we have not increased. There have been no infants, no children, you might say, not for a terrible long count of years. You see, we lost the Entwines. How very sad, said Pippin. How was it that they all died? They did not die, said Treebeard. I have never said died. We lost them, I said. We lost them and we cannot find them. He sighed. I thought most folk knew that. There were songs about the hunt of the Ents. For the Entwife sung among elves and men from Rookwood to Gondor. They cannot be quite forgotten. Well, I am afraid the songs have not come west over the mountains to the Shire, said Mary. Won't you tell us some more or sing us one of the songs? Yes, and I will indeed, said Treebeard, seeming pleased with the request. But I cannot tell it properly, only in short, and then we must end our talk. Tomorrow we have councils to call, and what to do, and maybe a journey to begin. It is rather a strange and sad story, he went on after a pause. When the world was young and the woods were wide and wild, the ensign and wives, and there were ent maidens, and the loveliness of Fiberdale, of one lived the light-footed, and the days of our youth. They walked together, they housed together, but our hearts did not go on growing in the same way. The Ents gave their love to things that they met in the world, and the Ent wives gave their thought to other things. For the Ents loved the great trees and the wild woods and the slopes of the high hills, and they drank of the mountain streams and ate only such fruit as the trees let fall on their path. And they learned of the elves that spoke with the trees. But the Entwives gave their minds to the lesser trees, and to the meads in the sunshine beyond the field of the forest. And they saw the slough and the thicket, and the wild apple and the cherry blossoming in spring, and the green herbs and the waterlands in summer, and the seeding grasses in the autumn fields. They did not desire to speak with these things, but they wished them to hear and obey what was said to them. The Entwives ordered them to grow according to their wishes and bear leaf and fruit to their liking. For the Entwives desired order and plenty and peace, by which they meant that things should remain where they had sent them. So the Entwives made gardens to live in, but we Ents went on wandering, and we only came to the gardens now and again. Then, when the darkness came in the north and the Entwise crossed the Great River and made new gardens and tilled the new fields, and we saw them more seldom. After the darkness was overthrown, the land of the Entwise blossomed richly, and their fields were full of corn. Many men learned the crafts of the Entwise and honored them greatly, but we were only a legend to them, a secret in the heart of the forest. Yet here we still are, while all the gardens of the Entwise are wasted. Men call them the brown lands now. I remember it was long ago, in the time of the war between Sauron and the men of the sea. Desire came over me to see Finfrithel again. Very fair she was still in my eyes when I had last seen her, though little like the maiden of old, for the Entwise were bent and brown by their labor, their hair parched by the sun to the hue of ripe corn, and their cheeks like red apples. Yet their eyes are still the eyes of our own people. We crossed over Anduin and came to their land, but we found a desert. It was all burnt and uprooted, for war had passed over it. But the Entwise were not there. Long we called and long we searched, and we asked all folk that we met which way the Entwise had gone. Some said they had never seen them, and some said they had seen them walking away west, and some said east, and others south, but nowhere that we find them. Our sorrow was great, and yet the wildwood called, and we returned to it. For many years we used to go out every now and again and look for the Entwise, walking far and wide and calling them by their beautiful names. But as time passed, we went more seldom and wandered less far. And now the Entwise are only a memory for us, and our beards are long and gray. The elves made many songs concerning the search of the Ents, and some of the songs passed to the tongues of men. But we made no songs about it, being content to chant their beautiful names when we thought of the Entwise. We believe that we may meet again in a time to come, and perhaps we shall find somewhere a land where we can live together and both be content. But it is foreboded that will only be when we both lost all that we now have. And it may well be that time is drawing near at last. For if Sauron of old destroyed the gardens, the enemy today seems likely to wither all the woods. There was an elfish song that spoke of this, or at least, so I understand it. It used to be sung up and down the great river. It was never an Entish song, mark you. It would have been a very long song in Entish, but we know it by heart and hum it now and again. This is how it runs in your tongue. Ent. When spring unfolds the drenching leaf and sap is in the bough, when light is in the wildwood stream and wind is on the brow, when stride is long and wide and breath is deep and keen the mountain air, come back to me, come back to me, and say my land is fair. Aunt wife, when spring is come in garth and field, and corn is in the blade, when blossom like a shining snow is on the orchard laid, when shower and sun upon the earth with fragrance fill the air, I'll linger here, and will not come, because my land is fair. Aunt, when summer lies upon the world, and in a noon of gold, beneath the roof of sleeping leaves, the dreams of trees unfold. When woodland halls are green and cool, and wind is in the west, come back to me, and say my land is best. Aunt wife, when summer warms these hanging fruit and burns the berry brown, when straw is gold and ear is white, and harvest comes to town, when honey spills and apple swells, though wind be in the west, I'll linger here beneath the sun, because my land is best. Hint. The winter comes, the winter wild that heal and woo shall slay, when trees shall fall and starless night devour the sunless day. When wind is in the deadly east, then in the bitter rain, I'll look for thee and call to thee. I'll come to thee again. Wife, when winter comes and singing ends, when darkness falls at last, when broken is the barren bow, and bright in labor past, I'll look to thee and wait for thee until we meet again. Together we will take the road beneath the bitter rain. Both. Together we will take the road that leads to into the west. And far away we'll find a land where both our hearts may rest. Treebeard ended his song. Well, that's how it goes, he said. It is elfish, of course, light-hearted, quick-worded, and soon over. I dare say it is fair enough, but the Ents could say more on their side if they had time. But now I am going to stand up and take a little sleep. Where will you stand? We usually lie down to sleep, said Mary. We shall be all right where we are. Lie down to sleep, said Treebeard. Why, of course you do. I was forgetting. Singing that song put me in mind of old times. I almost thought that I was talking to young infants. I did. Well, you can lie on the bed. I am going to stand in the rain. Good night. Mary and Pippin climbed onto the bed and curled up in the soft grass and fern. It was fresh and sweet-scented and warm. The lights died down and the glow of the trees faded. But outside under the arch, they could see old Treebeard standing, motionless, with his arms raised above his head. The bright stars peered out of the sky and lit the falling water as it spilled onto his fingers and head and dripped in hundreds of silver drops onto his feet. Listening to the tinkling of the drops, the hobbits fell asleep. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop here. Ooh. So what does that say to everyone? I mean, it was supposed to be a song, but it was like a, a play read to me. I had one time I had playwright write skills. I had to go and practice and write plays. I literally write plays. It was for a theater class, believe it or not, and it was very interesting, to say the least. And that there's usually a purpose in what when they do these they break things apart. Meaning, because the ant is the male, the ant wife is like was the female, the trees, right? But together, when it goes to both, and they're married in the end. But I guess to some Tolkien's it may be romantic, or some maybe not. But I'll leave that to your each's own opinion. But anyway, that's a lot to read. But my throat is getting better, as you can tell. But it does take time, and I do not want to overstress myself. But I hope everyone please be careful and take care. And make sure we love one another. Be careful. Okay. If you're in trouble, please get some help. Talk to someone about it. Talk it out. Talk it out. Take a walk. Try not to fight. People who want to fight are just very unhappy, and they're not wanting to get along, or they just reason a secret reason to do so. And I think that that is not, that's not really genuine friendship, or that's not the love of your life. This one thing's got to end, my friend, for the better. Or it shall never begin again, my friend. But anyway, besides that, I'll go ahead and I'll just let everyone go. And I'm going to rest my voice. And I'm going to hopefully morning hours tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a little short day, but still, it's a lot to take in. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. Later. Bye.